89.3 2GLF.
You are now listening to Three Quirks and a Turk at 89.3 FM.
This is my station.
Action.
It's just insane and I love it.
Entertainment.
Hey guys, it's Selena Gomez.
Hey, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hey guys, it's Taylor Swift.
Entrepreneurs.
You need to learn this business, and this is the time to do it.
And empowerment.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get in the game.
It's Friday.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday.
YB Moody, shake that booty and tune in to the voice of the continent.
89.3 FM. Our next guest, Miss Valentina, who have we got in the studio?
We are so excited. I
Yes.
want to welcome Marc, host of the Retirement, Leisure and Health Expo, is a passionate advocate for financial well-being, former national president of the Association of Financial Advisors, a TEDx speaker on happiness and award-winning author of The Money Sandwich. Marc wants to empower Australians to retire confidently and comfortably and to live life on their own terms. So welcome, Marc.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very excited being here today.
That's a very long, lengthy bio there, Valentino.
It's one big resume.
Mate, I'm impressed.
It seems like you've been busy.
It did take 30 years, but yes, there's a few things on there.
The Money Sandwich. Where's the inspiration come from? Is that because you wake up every morning, eat sandwiches, and you thought, you know what, I'll call my book The Money Sandwich?
Well, funny enough, because the podcast is called A Bite from the Money Sandwich. So, yes, but no, it was something that I really learned when all my friends around a dinner table sort of said, you know, when we hit 50, why didn't we get given a manual? We did not realise. And it was really the sandwich generation where we've got elderly parents on one side and we've got our adult children on the other who are living at home longer, and we've got our elderly parents living longer, which is all great, but it's just this sandwich generation where we're sort of sandwiched in between these two generations. Whereas when I grew up, once you left school, you left home.
So are you a sandwich generation?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, so just sort of past pretty well the edge of the baby boomers, in the middle between Gen Xers and baby boomers.
Okay,
yes.
so what would Valentino and I would be? What generation are we?
Gen Xers, probably.
Gen X,
the next one down.
okay.
40s and 50s, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No, that's not my category.
I'm younger. I'm younger than that, you know.
Late 30s, 40s and 50s.
This is called denial.
So tell us about this, the Money Sandwich. What are they? You released this book.
Yes. When I stopped being a financial advisor, when COVID happened, and what I really wanted to do, and you did say in the intro that I was the president of the Association of Financial Advisors, so talking to government, talking to ASIC and talking to all these bodies, consumer groups, the one thing they kept talking about was getting advice. Less than 1 in 5 get advice.
Yes.
So there's a real anomaly there. And secondly, it's expensive. So I wanted to provide a low-cost solution as my sort of legacy leaving the industry or the profession. And so everything anyone would want to do in an appointment with a financial advisor, savings, budgeting, property, super, estate planning is all in there.
Yeah.
But with the sort of the overview of 50 and 60-year-olds, because that's my generation.
Okay.
So anybody can, at a different
Absolutely.
age, can read this book.
That's right.
And they can start taking action
Yes.
and applying the advice that you provided so that they can basically...
Yeah. I'm not licensed to give advice anymore,
Okay.
but all the education and coaching is in there. And so, and there's sort of QR codes so you can download action plans, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 year strategies. So, and if you sort of, someone in their 50s or 60s may not need budgeting or cash flow or how to save, but their children will. They're adult children. And so I feel that's a lot of people leaving school don't know how to save. They don't know how to budget.
I guess you're right? Because in school, they don't teach our kids
That's right.
any financial skills. So how are the kids going to learn to be self-reliant and invest if our education system don't even teach our kids how to invest?
And it's something, one of those things, when I was doing that role, I was this is 2016 to 2020, and speaking to governments, and yes, budgeting should be a subject as part of mathematics.
Yes.
It's great, and I love maths, and as much as I could learn, I did it at university, but budgeting wasn't one of those subjects. And I'm great at quadratic equations, but I didn't know how to budget. So it is something that's really, and I've spoken to a lot of school associations, but I do know schools are under a lot of pressure. Our kids, teenage kids, their subject matters are full. There really is, but it really is an important subject.
Well, I agree 100%. But maybe we should cut back on, say, arts and what's the other one in this? History. And then focus on... physics. And focus on actual common things that people need to learn when they leave school. Budgeting.
I have to say the education system hasn't really changed.
No. It's too institutionalized, I think.
Saying that, the one thing I would say it wouldn't need to be a whole subject. And I think one of the things is... as my daughters in their 20s and 30s now and their peers, I could teach someone to save in 1 minute. It's the same thing. I could tell someone how to lose weight in 1 minute. Actually getting someone to take action.
That's another story.
That's another story.
That's another story.
You only have to look at the gambling ads and all that and seeing 20-year-olds, especially, bet with your mates, all the marketing that goes into gambling, online gambling and all this. It's a really difficult time. So yes, you can teach someone, but getting them to take action. There's a whole between the ears. What you do there.
There's an old saying: you can take a horse to water, but you can't force a horse to drink water.
That's right.
Exactly right.
That's right.
Exactly
So
right.
true.
Does the book cover about limiting beliefs?
Limiting beliefs.
Yeah, around money.
It does, and it is also talking about money as not zero and ones. It's not mathematics is logical. You can do an equation and you get an answer. Money is that. Money's emotional. Money is, how else do you explain greed, the despair of being poor or poverty? And there are, those sort of things you just need to sort of think of. Because I've had accountants and people who have excellent maths but be terrible with money. And it's very, very different. I'm not quite sure if I've answered your question when you're saying limiting beliefs, but it's one of those really things that the belief system around money, people think, well, I was good at maths, I should be good at money, and two totally different subjects.
No, you have, because a lot of people, I'll show you a story. I had lost lots of money, and I read, there was a book on money to get me started, and it all comes down with consistency, but it all comes down to your belief system as well. And we had a talk the other was that years ago. Money is the root of all evil.
It's so true.
That?
Yes.
So that's a belief system.
It is
correct.
It is.
Yeah, but I believe that money enables you to have more freedom and more choice in life.
That's right.
And I think that's it. I think money is a tool.
Yes.
And if it's used wisely, can give you the best life. Yes, money itself, if you just say, oh, I've got money, I've just got it sitting in a bank account, you're not going to be happy over that.
No.
But if you actually, it's the opportunities and options, exactly as you just said, that can give you, can make all the difference in your world.
Yeah, 100%. Folks, you are tuning in with the 3 Quirks. So 89.3 FM, we're going to be having a chat to Marc about financials, pick his brains today, any strategies and ideas where to invest. And also, let's talk about the crypto market. Love to hear from your views on the crypto market as well after this. Let's get a song on, and we will come back and have 89.3 FM 2GF, and you are tuning in with the 3 Quirks and a Turk. Valentina, we're having fun. We're getting a bit of educational on a Friday, how to save.
Yeah, I am. I'm always
I don't
about,
think you're a saver. I think you're a spender.
I was a big spender.
You're a big
I
spender.
stopped spending, but I'm putting money towards my future.
Yes, that's
and
good.
Investing.
That's good.
But I do. Let's go back to the money sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got good advices in this book, but I want to ask one simple step that someone can actually take away, that they can start saving.
Okay, probably the very first thing I used to always teach, and it didn't matter what age you were, was pay yourself first. So I really like that, and especially in this age of electronic money, when we were 20, 30, 40 years ago, when we were getting paid cash.
Yeah.
Getting paid weekly and getting a pay packet with actual cash, it was very easy to sort of put some money in this bucket, put some money in that bucket.
That's
and
right.
people talk about the bucket system and saving and different things. But now you get paid once a month. And for a lot of 20, 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds who are
Very
getting
hard
used
to
to
manage.
it. It's really hard because you're really rich that first week.
Yes.
The second week, it's sort of okay, but third, and by the time fourth week comes along, you're either lost,
Struggling.
it's all gone, or you're on credit. So for me, if you want to save, pay yourself first. And so if you get paid on the first of the month, on the second of the month, the first creditor is yourself, and you go put a certain amount, whether it's 5%, 1%, doesn't matter, as long as it's just one regular amount and gets put into a separate bank account that you don't touch.
You can't see.
So, and you can't
can't
see,
see.
and if it's that bank account's actually got a card, just rip that card up.
Yep.
So you have to actually go down to the bank to take the money out.
Yes.
Oh, good advice.
And then if you've got to pay your bills and you get. And the second thing is to sort of learn how to space your money out over a month. But at least at the end of the month, if you've got no money left to save, well, that's fine. You've already paid yourself first. You've
But
got
then
your
these
save.
days, everyone is encouraging you to use online and tapping.
Yes.
Tap as you go.
Ah, terrible.
That's terrible. But
It's life, isn't it? Yeah.
it's true. But the thing was like, let's say, for example, you were talking about, say, back then, $50, right? So if I go to Valentino and say, look, I want to buy a coffee from Valentino, right?
Yeah.
That's $50 remains $50. And then she goes and buys something, and then that $50 is, say, $20, $30. But these days, every time you tap, the banks actually make money more from you when you're actually
Yes.
tapping away.
Yeah, and I think, COVID sort of brought all this to the head that, up until then, if it was anything under $10 or $20, companies still said, we need you to pay cash.
That's right.
Once COVID happened and people didn't want to touch your money, and understandably for medical reasons, it just changed the whole of society to becoming a cashless society. So I do think those fees are coming down, and there's a point that instantaneous transactions are happening. So the actual cost for a bank to charge fees is they're charging fees, and there's no real merit for it. So I think more and more people are working out, and the ASICs of this world and the consumer watchdogs are looking at this and saying, well, no, if it's not justified, you can't charge those fees. So I think those sort of things are going to, just through competition, keep coming down.
Do you think money is a frequency?
Is it what, sorry?
A frequency. Like, do you see money as a spiritual thing as well?
I don't. No, but people do. Like, people, feel like the whole thing about, well, I need money so that I can go to the best restaurants. I need money so I can travel because I live in a suburb where people go overseas every year. I need to be able to do that. So but that's never been, at the end of the day, it's all we want to be happy.
Right, happy.
Happy, and happiness
And free.
isn't never been dependent on money. The people who have the most money, if they would say we'd give it all back if we had our health
They're never
again.
happy. That's so true.
To have your health back.
Happiness and
True.
health, yeah. And
Correct.
so I do think, yes, people who are striving to get money think, if I get this or I get that next pay rise, and there is this talking about the positivity psychology movement about that when factor. I will be happy when I get my next pay rise, when I get my next travel, when I get my next job, all these things in the future. So your happiness was now dependent on a future event where you actually have to learn to be happy now.
But I feel that money brings you happiness because money allows you to do what you want to do.
As long as you're using money as a tool for those things that
Yes.
will be for your family, for
Correct.
your fulfillment. But just to have money, unfortunately I've seen clients and seen very rich people, and they just want to look at that money sitting in a bank account, not do anything, and they're miserable, absolutely miserable.
Well, you can't take it with you. We discussed this so
we
many
just
times.
discussed
Valentine. We were
it.
just discussing this,
Some
right?
people have tried.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have. They have.
So going back to when, so like,
Yes.
so that when I have a holiday, when I do this, when I do that, which is a delayed gratification.
It is.
Right? So it's a good thing, right?
Well, it is, but the more and more, and I love studying about well-being and happiness, and the one thing that I've seen is that you've got to have a bit of both worlds to be happy. You can't just be, I'm just going to live for the moment and I don't care about the future, because that will happen, or I don't want to just sacrifice now and the future will be fine, but I'll just be miserable now. No, you need to be able to be happy now, but also put a bit away for your future so that you can be happy in the future as well.
So, in terms of financial skill set, in terms of investing for the future, what would be your advice to especially the young people out there who are listening to this conversation today? Where do they need to start and what do they need to do
Okay.
to secure their future?
I can be a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
Because most ads, most super funds, and it's a $4 trillion industry, so you can see why there is a lot of self-interest when it's $4 trillion just in Australia. And most people say the most tax-effective way to save money is put money away into superannuation. I don't go with that at all.
Never do I.
Because tax as again mathematics to money, mathematically it's the most tax effective thing you can do with your money is to put it into super, but it's locking your money away till 65. For people who are in their 20s or 30s, it'll be 70. So it's a long time to lock your money away. And in the meantime, Australia is one of the very few countries which has a retirement system where your employer pays your superannuation guarantee. So anyone starting work now will have enough money through their employer. The 12%, I think it is now, will be there. So they'll have $1 million. They'll have $2 million in their super. What they should be doing is, and I think it'll become a buzz term, is this micro retirements. You should be every 10 years thinking, I'm having a break. You do not want to be, as in people in my generation, you get a job, you work for the next 40 years, and when you're 65, that's when I'll do the big trip, travel and all that. I've seen too many people who don't reach 65.
That's correct.
And too many people who get sick before they get 65. No, you need these lovely little short breaks, but you don't want to go into debt for that. So you should be saving. So your superannuation will look after itself. But you should still save, but put it into something that will be accessible.
I'm so glad you touched base on that because I feel our society, we've been programmed to go to uni, get a job, and then you work until you're 65 and you retire. Now, there was a video going out there. There was this old guy. He retired in his 60s. He bought his Ferrari and he couldn't get out of his Ferrari. He was too old. He couldn't get out.
Oh, goodness.
You know, and that just proves a point that sometimes you need to live your life every day.
You do. Agree. And just to give you a curious little anecdote on that, the whole 65, which is, as you said, we've been programmed for this magic date, that came up in 1904.
Oh, wow.
First Prime Minister of Australia, they put the pension age at 65 then because the average life expectancy was 58.
Yes.
Well, now the average life expectancy is 84
Yes.
or 86 for women. It's a couple of years older than men. So it's not practical or relevant anymore. So I don't think people should be thinking that way.
So how do we lay the foundation then? The school system won't change, the education system, they won't change. It's so old school. So how can we lay the foundation to teach the next generation to be smarter, work less, but be smart about your money?
Yeah, and I do think it is being smarter.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just seeing the effects of ChatGPT and all that, where so many jobs may not be around in 5 years, 10 years' time. So we do need to be smarter. One of the things I always think about is that every generation has their own way. So if you really want to find the information, there are podcasts. There are so many online tutorials through social media. Yes, there's a few, and everyone's got to be smart. You just don't just accept something blindly. And ASIC has been pretty good in this, and they're saying no online, and they used to be called fin influencers. And you can't just recommend our product because then obviously they're getting a kickback.
That's
so
right.
ASIC has said you've got to also this watchdog has said that you must have, if you're going to recommend a product, you should recommend 3. But there's plenty of podcasts, the social media people out there who just do education. And it's really worthwhile. So every generation, whether if you're older and you want to read a book or you want to see it online or you want to see it through Facebook, a lot of my generation, Facebook and Instagram, but TikTok and all that, there's plenty of education if you go looking for it.
Love that.
You know, when you're talking to people who's getting close to retirement, what do they fear most?
And it's 1 in 2. It's 48% of people are incredibly anxious approaching retirement. Number one reason is definitely, will I outlive my money?
Right.
Yes. In reality, that isn't the actual. From someone who's been doing this for a long time, and this is what I research and actually really passionate about, because again, I've met plenty of people who had enough money, but the day they retired, the emails stop, their community stop, because their community, especially men are terrible at this. Women are far better at building communities outside of work. Men have their work community, maybe a sporting community, but definitely their working community. And they also, we'll catch up, we'll have coffee. They don't. They don't. Everyone gets on with their life. It's fair. That's just life. So I think for me, when I teach people, and I was talking to you before, we're putting this retirement expo on. Only one facet about that's the money. What are you going to do? What's your new community? What's your new mental challenge? What's your legacy? What's your relationships? I've had lots of couples come into me, and one person says, "Oh, we're going to do a caravan around Australia," and the partner looks at them and says, "I've never heard this before. You're not getting me in a caravan." I always had a box of tissues on my table. It was just so relationships are important. Second highest rate of divorce after 2 years after retirement.
Really?
So all these things, because I heard this wonderful chap who definitely retired with enough funds, very high up in the financial world. But his wife said to him, "I married you for breakfast and dinner, not lunch. You are not going to follow me around the house like a lost puppy." So he had to prepare 5 years out. Wow. He had to actually prepare, what am I going to do? And so he's giving back and he's doing a lot of things. But yeah, he never thought he would. He just thought, I just need enough money. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I never because I play golf, so I meet a lot of gentlemen who are retired and they can play golf.
That's right.
So I'm like, this is your retirement plan.
That's
and
it.
they're like,
Yeah, but you can't.
You can't.
And I love golf too, and I'm playing golf regularly now. But you can't play 7 days a
No,
week.
you can't.
And I do find that gets your sporting and that helps your health. Health's another big factor past 65. But you do need a mental challenge.
You do.
You do need to keep go learn a language, go do something, but you need to have your mind active. And that's why I think a lot of people should give back or think about giving back.
That's probably why you see a lot of old guys in the pub having a beers from 9 o'clock to 6 p.m. And that's a lot of them. That's pretty healthy.
It's not going to help you there.
No, that's right.
And it's not really mentally stimulating either.
All right, folks, you are tuning in with the 3 Quirks at 89.3 FM. What a conversation we're having this afternoon. Finance, and Reiki. Where did that come from, Reiki?
Oh, we were just talking about spirituality and money and frequency.
That's all right. All good.
Let's talk about the upcoming expo.
Yes.
Marc?
Yes, please.
Share.
It was really, we were talking about people and money, and that if you're really going to retire, most people, the anxiety levels are really 1 in 2 are worried about will they live as long, will their money last as long as they do? They don't want to run out of their money. And so it was very much, that's what I was helping when I was my last 10 years as an advisor. But really, when I actually spoke to people, it was actually more than that. What am I going to do when I stop work? What about my relationships? Going to travel around Australia, go around the world? What's my legacy? And all these other things, as well as money. And so looking at it from a holistic point of view, I thought there's nothing really out there. I've been, for last year, caravan expos, home expos, boating expos, aged care expos, nothing that's putting everything together. And so I decided to do it.
Fantastic. Love it. When is it on?
It's November 15th and 16th at Rosehill Racecourse, which is really, I wanted it centre of Sydney.
Yeah.
And so Rosehill Racecourse is great. It's got a beautiful big expo area, so it's about a football field and a half. And we'll just have 80 to 100 exhibitors on anything and everything. And while I've got a financial background, I'm learning all about caravans, mattress companies, and everything else.
Yes. That's right. So this event, retirement and leisure, and plus Health Expo as well, right? Now, do people need to register to get a store?
Yes. Yeah. If they go to the website, which is Retirement Expo NSW, New South Wales, nsw.com.au, Retirement Expo NSW, or just put Retirement, Leisure and Health Expo into your Google search, and up it will come, and there's just a free registration there on the website.
Okay, love that. So what do you think, Valentino? You think we should go and check it out?
We should check it out. I think it's, finance, money,
Yes.
health, they're my core mission.
I think
right?
so.
Yeah.
And I think it should be everyone's core
Yes.
mission to actually really educate and understand, get the expert advice, be there.
Yes.
Because I'm sure they're going to get a lot out of this.
That's right. So let's get to know Mr. Marc here. You know,
Oh,
like
yes,
it's
on a
interesting.
personal level,
On a personal,
quirky.
yes,
Quirky.
yes,
Quirky
quirky,
time.
right? So, what's your favorite color, Marc?
It's blue.
Blue.
Even though I follow Liverpool in
Yes.
the Premier League, and so I have a lot of red things around, but and also my Chinese background. But no, blue's always been that. But I've actually discovered ultramarine blue,
Ultramarine
which is a very
blue.
dark blue, and it was a very famous blue in ancient times.
Yeah.
It was actually worth more than gold. The lapis lazuli
Yes.
Wow.
stone, and it's just a beautiful, like it's in the Sistine Chapel. It's
Wow.
the really striking blue part
Okay.
is that ultramarine blue. So yeah, no, blue's my favourite colour.
Your favorite food?
Oh, Italian. Oh, I
Italian,
can't go
or-
past pizza.
Yeah.
I can't go past
What's
pizza.
on your pizza? Pineapple?
Oh, I am Australian. I love
anchovies?
that, but no. If I do like my my margarita with prosciutto,
yum.
Yeah.
just a
Bit of rocket.
classic Italian pizza,
Right,
wood fire
right.
pizza, great.
Your favorite music?
I am a child of the 70s and 80s, so anything really from ABBA, from Boss Gags to, Bee Gees, any of the Beatles, anything from that period I just love. And I just say, listening to a bit of Lewis Capaldi now, he's just a
Yeah.
very clever and funny guy.
Yep, yep. And your favorite celebrity crush? Who have you got a crush on?
Anne Margaret.
Anne Margaret. Who's Anne Margaret?
Oh, she was a famous redhead from back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Monica
Wow.
celebrity crush. And I quite like Scarlett Johansson.
Yes,
And
yes.
you have skills in dancing.
Yes.
So yes, I was told as about a 15, 16-year-old by an auntie, you go to these weddings, family weddings, and some auntie grabbed me up onto the dance floor and told my mum afterwards that I had 2 left feet, and I thought, right, challenge accepted. Found the local ballroom studio, which was Randall's
Right.
School of Dancing, which the actual Strictly Ballroom Dancing was based on, and started and fell in love. And
Wow.
it's not very hard when you realise you're probably about 10 boys to 40 girls, and I thought, well, this is
That's the reason
pretty
why you
handy.
did it.
This is pretty handy, absolutely. Yeah. So
Great.
the only thing with that is I had the opportunity to dance with my partner in front of the Olympic Committee when they were choosing Sydney Olympics. So that was not bad.
That's a good achievement for you,
Yeah,
Marc.
yeah,
Good
it was a-
achievement.
Yeah, no, it was,
What a milestone to remember.
Yeah. You know what? Look, can I say thank you so much for joining the
Thank
3
you,
Quirks and a
Marc.
Turk.
oh no, loved it. Thank you.
Your wisdom is remarkable. I wish that we've learned all this years ago.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Wish you came
Never
to
too late to start.
Correct.
Never too
Yes.
late to
But
start.
the thing is that they should teach kids in school
100%.
education,
Yeah.
financial education.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah.
Well, it was good to see you. Hopefully, we can invite you back in the future and we can talk a bit more about the crypto market, what's happening there. We know what's
we ran
happening.
out of time.
Yes.
We ran out of
But we
time.
want to hear about your expo and how it went.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, thank
Amazing.
you. I'd love to come back.
Amazing. Thanks so
Thank
much. You're
you.
tuning in with the 3 Quirks, so 89.3 VM. See you all same time, same place next week.